Hey everyone, it's Miss Allyssa here from the Township of Washington Library, and I have another episode of Teen Reads for everyone today. I have a couple of graphic novels. You should probably know by now I love graphic novels, and I have a really fun, humorous memoir by somebody you may have seen online. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to start with this graphic novel series. It's the Spill Zone series. By Scott Westerfeld. So cool. Let me show you some of the illustrations. It has got such a unique style, and it's post-apocalyptic, kind of creepy, very cool. There are two. There's Spill Zone and Spill Zone the Broken Vow. And I mean, yeah, it's definitely creepy. It is post-apocalyptic, it is very cool, and I'm gonna read to you the description of this one. No entry, no photos, no survivors. The zone defies understanding. 3 years ago in upstate New York, an event destroyed Addison's hometown and forever changed reality within its borders. Overnight, Poughkeepsie became a waking nightmare, home to unearthly and lethal dangers. Now, quarantined from the rest of the world, few dare to enter the Spill Zone. Armed with only a camera, Addie ventures into the zone to photograph its twisted phenomena. But getting close enough for the perfect shot can mean death or worse. Within the Spill Zone, something sinister awaits and calls Addison's name. So the story is of Addison and her sister and this spill zone that nobody is supposed to go into. I'll give you a little preview of what the spill zone looks like. And it's kind of hard to figure out at first what the spill zone is. You have to read to really find out more about what happens. It even says right on this page, nobody knows what the Po Town spill was exactly. An alien visitation, something spilling from another world. Most of the people who escaped don't say much about what happened that night. Nobody really knows, but you see the effects on Addie and everybody that she knows and everybody surrounding her and the entire community, and near and far people want to know about the spill zone. And then the second one, let me see if I can read the description without spoilers. I don't know, there are some spoilers in here, so only the very brave or the very desperate dare enter the spill zone. Addison Merritt is a little bit of both. And this talks about some of the things that happened in between the last one and this one, and her visits to the spill zone. And I just really love the style of the art, and I think it's a very dynamic book. I think it is very engaging, very creepy, and very awesome. I highly recommend those two. If you are into sci-fi, if you're into graphic novels at all, if you're into different art styles, you should definitely take a look at the Spill Zone series by Scott Westerfeld. The next one that I have, we'll do the other graphic novel next. This one has won quite a lot of praise, and I don't remember if it was the audiobook or the book itself, probably both, that won several awards the year it was released, which was 2018. This is by Jarrett J. Kroshka, and it's Hey Kiddo, How I Lost My Mother, Found My Father, and Dealt with Family Addiction. This is a very deep read. This is a very heartfelt read. It is his personal story, and you can see it's kind of monochromatic. I mean, it is monochromatic. There we go. It's like sepia. It's like a flashback. It's all memories, and it talks just about his childhood and his life, and and how he got through everything that is happening. And I think that one of the most important things about this book and Jarrett telling his story is that I know, and he knows, and so many of us know, that there are so many young people who are living in families like this, or they know somebody who's living in families like this. And it's a story to tell so that you know that you're not alone, and also it's a story to tell so that those of us who don't have to deal with these things know that it's happening, and we know to be sensitive to our friends who may be going through it. We know to be aware, and I really thought that this was a great read. Let's see. Let's read the description, okay? A true story about how complicated the truth can be. In preschool, Jarrett's teacher asked him to draw his family with a mommy and a daddy. But Jarrett's family was much, much more complicated than that. His mom was an addict, in and out of rehab and in and out of Jarrett's life. His father was a mystery. Jarrett didn't know where to find him or even what his name was. Jarrett was living with his grandparents, two very brash, very loving, very opinionated people who had thought they were through with raising children until Jarrett came along. Now Jarrett's a teenager. He's gone through his childhood trying to make his non-normal life as normal as possible, finding a way to express himself through art, despite the fact that he's grown up in a house where many things have remained unsaid. It's only when he's old enough to have his driver's license that Jarrett can begin to piece together the truth of his family, reckoning with his mother, tracking down his father, and finding his own identity. Hey Kiddo is a profoundly important memoir about growing up in a family as it grapples with addiction, finding the people who help you get through, and the art that helps you survive. And of course, then reading the story, it's no surprise that Jarrett also illustrated his own graphic memoir. And on the back, he wrote a little blurb. When I was a kid, I'd draw to get attention from my family. In junior high, I drew to impress my friends, but now I draw to survive. And I think that so many of us who are involved in writing or art or performance or any kind of extracurricular activity, anything that you do at home, anything you do that's extra at school, you do it for yourself. Hopefully you do it because it's something that makes you feel happy and safe and comfortable. And I hope that that's the case. There's a note on the art where he talks about his art and the style. And then also, there is a little author's note that wraps up the story. I mean, your story is not over. He is still alive and around and writing. His story is not over, but it sort of wraps up what happened in this graphic memoir. And I think it's a really nice and important note to read. As always, when an author includes these kinds of notes, you should read it. It's there for a reason. And there are just some more of his memories. And I think this was a really good one. When I read it, I remember just kind of holding it in my heart for a little while, and I know that it has had a profound effect on most of the young adult reading and graphic novel community. People really have taken to it and find this to be a very, very special story and memoir. And especially if you need to read a memoir or biography, autobiography for school, there are a lot of graphic novel versions of these, and I think you should tell your teacher that this is an acceptable memoir or autobiography, because it is, and I think it's a really important thing to do. And I know so many of us have different reading styles and reading comprehension, and I know graphic novels are really great for that for so many people. So if you need an autobiography, you need some kind of memoir, you need something to read, you need a true story, we have some graphic novels that fit that bill. And whether it's Hey Kiddo or something else, you can always ask me and I will help you out to find something. We also have a lot of great straight prose biographies. We have some novels in verse, autobiographies and memoirs. We have some really great stuff. Which brings me to this one, which I think is so fun to read and relatable, and even as an adult I read it maybe 5 years ago and I still thought it was very funny. This is called We Should Hang Out Sometime. Embarrassingly, a true story by Josh Sundquist. You may have seen Josh Sundquist. He's got quite a following on Instagram. I don't know what other social he's on, but he's a comedian, he's a motivational speaker, and every year he and his wife do these amazing Halloween costumes. And I don't want to really tell you about it unless you know, you read this book, you'll find out, or you go onto his social, you'll find out what the whole gist of what he does is. And he's got a really great sense of humor for everything that has happened to him in his life. He's so funny. I recommend the audiobook, which you can find on your phone or tablet. It is available through our digital library. If you need help using it, you can ask me. You just need your library card and I can help you out. But this is so funny. I remember listening to the audiobook and actually laughing out loud. He's got great delivery, which is why he's a comedian as well. Let's see if we can find the description for this one here. All right, here we go. When I was 25 years old, it came to my attention that I had never had a girlfriend. At the time, I was actually under the impression that I was in a relationship, so this bit of news came as something of a shock. Why was Josh still single? To find out, he tracked down each of the girls he had tried to date since middle school and asked them straight up what went wrong. The result of Josh's semi-scientific investigation are put in your hands. From a disastrous putt-putt date involving a backward prosthetic foot, to his introduction to CFD, close, fast dancing, to a misguided grand gesture at a Miss America pageant, this story is about looking for love, or at least a girlfriend, in all the wrong places. Poignant, relatable, and totally hilarious, this memoir is for anyone who has ever wondered, is there something wrong with me? Spoiler alert, the answer is no. There are some advantages to reading the print version because there are some semi-scientific charts that he draws up, which are all part of the humor. But I just think that listening to him deliver it is, like the best part. So maybe you might want to do both. You might want to listen to the audiobook just to hear his delivery and grab for some of the charts. He does describe some of the charts too in the audiobook, so you're not totally lost. I didn't miss them entirely, but when I did get a hard copy of the book, I did look through it and I thought it was fun. So this is just kind of all about his life and the things that he's been through when he was young, and he talks about here we go, the little author's note. All this stuff really happened. Certain names and other identifying characteristics have been changed, but this is all really true. But he is really funny. And trying to see if there's an author's note at the end. There's just some acknowledgments, but I don't want to read the very end or show it to you because there's big spoiler. But We Should Hang Out Sometime is very funny and very relatable. And occasionally you may read it and be like, oh my God, this guy could not take the hint. And, if somebody says no thank you or somebody's not interested, they're not interested, buddy. But also it's just learning about those cues and learning about dating and the social mores of dating and making friends too, and growing up to be yourself and being comfortable in the skin that you're in, especially for Josh. And it's really funny. So those are the books that I have today. They're all some of my favorites, actually. And if you are looking for these books, they are available for curbside pickup right now. If you are looking for other suggestions similar to or maybe totally different, you can always email me. My email is on the front page of our website, or you can fill out the book match form, which is at the top of our website on every page, and let me know what you are looking for. You can even say you watched this video and you're looking for something similar, and I will help you out. That is it for me today. I will see you next time with some more suggestions for some awesome reads, and I'll see you then. Bye!